for that one, and we will pick up the next one, which is Progressive Jester. Are you here? Progressive here. Paging Progressive. Please come to the front. Upload your YouTube video on Discord, or Jesus Christ. Upload your video on YouTube. Send me a direct message on Twitch, Discord, or YouTube, and we can talk about it. Maybe you should create a diagram for optimal character positioning. It depends on map, and it depends obviously on hero. For the most part, you need to be as close to combat as you're allowed to still be able to do your job in a safe manner. Xvabo, do one where you lose because I can correct more. If you make no mistakes, you learn nothing. To make a mistake, you need to learn. It's how things work. So a video where you lose more than you win is definitely better. Progressive here, that son of a bitch. He cried to me. He cried. Why does the title say 2800 innies in gold? I don't know. He was just here, Progressive. We may have to start without him. So yeah, he does say 2800 ELO. I'm not sure what this means. Is there something here? So it's a 2800 ELO game. That means when he started, the average SR was 2800. So the team average is 2800. He is a gold player. Let's just start without him. Sorry, Progressive, you're gonna have to watch us on YouTube. So yeah, he says it in the notes. The 2800 ELO game. I was at rank 2200 at the time or something. So here we have Progressive Jester on Phara, playing a 2800 ELO game. He is currently at rank 2200.
For a new high score. Aiming's overrated.
So let's skip ahead 30 seconds. I believe he plays Phara on offense and Junkrat on defense, if I remember correctly. Stop walking at such high quality. Here we go. We don't need HQ mistakes. We just need to see mistakes. So far, average, right? Normal Phara tactics.
You guys ready to beat this thing?
Give me a countdown.
5, 4, 3.
This is just
Aiming's overrated.
good play.
He's low.
Symmetric turrets got me.
Okay, so right now I'll just say he's being a little bit more passive than I would like. I liked his first kill. Once he really noticed that nothing was shooting at him, I think it would have been great for him just to stay up there.
Yeah, they do. I can see it upstairs. We're not able to get it first. It's upstairs. Fine, we'll get the point.
What? Sleep.
Yeah, I was in that room.
This is one of those
Sorry,
points where I
didn't,
actually wouldn't destroy the
attack
symmetric teleporter now.
I was trying to distract him a bit.
Okay, it's okay. We got 2.
Oh, he destroyed it.
I have
The problem is if you destroy the teleporter at that point, it probably had 1 or 2 charges left. And you run the risk. It's kind of like a risk-reward type deal.
That wasn't worth it.
If you destroy the teleporter, you're banking on Symmetra not getting enough charge by the next time you take the point.
One stop.
Sometimes this works. This will stop one guy from getting through that could have cost you the point. At the same time, if she gets enough charge up, like if they can't push the first time here and she gets another teleporter up, you have another 6 teleporter charges coming through.
Going to the right.
3, 2, 1.
Justice reigns from above.
I don't hate that ult.
Shit, soldier got me. Soldier's up top. He's coming down to the bottom.
The reason I don't hate that ult is just because the team was so preoccupied with everything, no one really noticed them.
Timing's overridden.
And damage is damage. It's not like she has fall off.
Yeah, good job, boys.
Let's go, they got 3 down.
all ult you, Red.
I'm going to the left.
Yeah, the diva got slept, but it was already too late. He was doing damage.
Oh man, those turrets.
Ult did no damage because he was too far away. It doesn't have fall off. It just has higher spread.
Diva asleep.
Are we getting off the point? Try to be pushing in still.
You guys have it. You guys have it.
But he assisted in 2 kills with it.
Their Ryan doesn't have it.
Right?
But their Mercy might.
I'm not saying do that ult all the time, but if you're trying to fix someone's issues and you focus on that problem, it won't do shit, guys. Correcting that quote-unquote mistake, it helps no one.
Timing's overridden.
To the left.
Should I save it for later on the point, or point B? You gain ults back.
So come back, come back.
Is there any reason to play comp off-season? Don't do it.
Yeah, that's all.
It's worse because there's no backfilling, so someone will quit and you don't get a backfill.
Oh yeah, it's in the medicine room.
Alright, I'll go get it.
Can
But yeah, you guys are trying to critique a low SR player on,
Swap after this.
and I don't know.
Go take care of the turret.
This is my problem with most people who do analysis, is that they believe correcting these one-off little mistakes. Oh, someone was on you. That's why. You don't correct these one-off little mistakes and expect them to get better. Like, it actually doesn't help
I
them.
don't know how they even saw me come up.
Oh, they probably heard you. Progress. Phara makes very, very loud noises when she jets. In fact, to be sneaky with Phara, you actually need to be so high that they can barely hear you, and then you fall to where you want to be. That's the best way to do it. Evergrey, correct macro, not micro. Correct.
Why is your damage not more?
I think I might switch off to Junkrat so we can deal more damage. I don't have to hit scan
Yeah.
constantly shooting at me.
No, Def, no, it's no problem. Like, I understand
Okay,
people correct in different ways.
I'm gonna drop on them.
My style is correcting macro.
Start to push now.
Micro stuff comes usually with playing more and just experience.
Oh my god, help me take out the soldier.
That left room is full of symmetric turrets.
Symmetra asleep.
We got 2 down. We got to regroup.
Alright, so that soldier is making me like completely unable to do anything.
And swap.
Alright, I'm gonna use my ult on this next push and I'm gonna swap.
So you can hear him talking about how Soldier's shutting him down.
Alright, everybody
the
group
game.
up. You're all going to the side.
Well, I'm gonna try and at least get that fucking shield generator. So I'll just use my
I
ult
can
on
go
that.
with you and help.
Alt shield gen. Oh, that was a prime boopage. Alright, it's dead. That was okay. Now that one I will critique. Careful on that. And he goes Junkrat. I mean, you had a Winston in there doing damage, so I don't believe the rocket barrage was necessary. I think you could have shot 1 or 2 rockets in there. Shield Gen has 400 health.
Sleep.
I know I just say I don't correct macro or micro, but oh, Roadhog stole your health. That always sucks. Shield Gen's back up. That's the problem with Symmetra. And that happens. That's alright. You died with your team.
Good job.
That Symmetra shield thing is really gonna
Alright, they
slow us
just
down.
used 4 ults.
Where is the shield generator?
And she put up a
Pattern
teleport.
recognition. You plays characters with 120 primary fire. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, they have a shield. Your it is.
No.
Alright, Dave, we get on
Probably
to the
back right.
point.
So this is the problem with 2 CP maps, and I think this problem is just really rough at lower levels, is that the only place to stage an attack is that high ground. And even then, it's not the greatest. This is good.
Junkrat?
I mean, you.
Trying! You can do it! I already died.
I mean, that was good work. You tried to do work there. Everyone saw it. You got a bunch of kills. You did well.
Ah, aiming's overrated.
But Volskaya is a very difficult point to attack, I believe, for SR, low SR people specifically, because with a very poor staging area, you kind of just have to group up and just run to the point and hope you win. It's all 2 CP maps are really, really rough in that aspect.
I honestly
And with the respawn advantage given to the defense,
Yeah.
if you get 1 or 2 and it takes you too long to kill the rest of them, they just come back.
We just needed to stay grouped.
Can when did you actually Reinhardt?
Let's skip ahead. What do they got?
Better for the Junkrat.
Probably this 39 more seconds.
Doesn't like Brazilians.
He's playing Junkrat on defense now.
Hey Django, could you move up a little bit?
They have a Phara.
Phara.
Phara's discorded.
He's in not a bad spot. I don't mind holding down left side. I know this doesn't mean much to lower SR people, but I've been noticing more and more. I think the teams are liking going left side instead of right. Or at least I've been seeing that pattern more often at the higher levels. Oh, he's going to 1v1 a Phara.
Help me, somebody.
If nothing else, he challenged her. Soldier. Yep. A little bit too aggressive, over aggressive, if you will.
Did we lose it?
Yeah, almost definitely.
Yeah, there's no
Come
way
back.
we're taking that back.
The objective is under attack.
Dingu, go on point.
If you had time to take the high ground beforehand, it's definitely preferred. This is a good... Oh, you missed the soldier. There's a soldier right behind you, isn't there?
Behind here.
Where's that soldier at? He's behind you, right?
Who was behind the point?
Protect the objective.
Oh, it's gonna annoy me so much. I'm pretty sure that soldier was behind you.
Reinhardt.
That's a fine. How do you do? Get on the objective. We kill
One of those times you tire and pray. Yeah.
Nice one.
I mean,
Oh
that
my
sucks.
god, just get on the point. I killed 2 of them.
Oh, let's see. This 2 CP. Is this Revenge of the 2 CP?
I will protect the innocent.
There's 2 people, 1 person. That's soldier again.
Kill the soldier. He's hiding
Dude.
in the corner.
Oh man. This hurts.
Oh
This
my
hurts so bad.
This soldier just spent the entire time just sitting there.
So this is a. Oh, Rick Over's best moments. Get the fuck out of here, Rick.
Sure it is.
Look at this asshole. Oof. Oof. So I think every single 2 CP. Let me think. I guess Anubis doesn't have this problem that bad. So every single 2 CP, Anubis is kind of included. The choke point you push into is usually looking right at the point. And the point usually has low cover. Anubis is the only one where it has somewhat, like, because it has the wall here, and it has a pillar here and a pillar here. But Volskaya is a wide open point, and so is Hanamura. And if you have a long-range class like a Widow, Soldier, anything like that on the balcony, or just far away from the point, they can do their damage so freaking good. And it's so hard to contest them because you're worried about the 5 people on point, and you're not worried about the 1 guy back here. But the 5 are just, essentially, even the supports are tanking for this 1 guy back here doing all the damage. It's pretty much the thing that kills people at higher ranks, even professional gaming, is that on Hanamura, no one clears the balcony first. Or they think the balcony's clear, they go up top, and they fall on the point, and then a soldier comes up this way and rotates on them, takes the balcony. It sucks, but it hurts, but it works. Actually, it's really fucking effective, and you should do it on attack. It's a good tactic. What up, Liquors Dog? How you doing? So, what can we parse from this? His Phara play on the first point, it was... it was a little conservative. But I understand when you have a soldier in the game. I think the Zenyatta was shooting at you too. You don't want to spend too much time in the air. But you got a couple picks. Your ult, could have been worse, could have been better. But overall, I think it was an okay Phara play. For 2200, that is. For your skill level, I think your shots you were landing when you're above them, you weren't doing too bad. Second point, it's really hard to critique mechanics on the second point just because it's always fucking chaos. As soon as you get in there and you're in the air, there's going to be 2 people shooting at you. So you're under a lot more stress than normal. And for lower SR people, when you have more stress, you make worse decisions. And it's just harder for me to critique these decisions in a normal manner just because you're not in the correct mindset when it happens. But your Phara play on attack, first point wasn't bad. I think everything was good. I don't have too many critiques. Like I said, I don't want to pick at micro things. You stayed with your team, even in the air. Like if we're looking at a top-down view, you pretty much, if your team was here, you stayed mostly right here with them. You didn't overextend, you didn't underextend. A couple points you were a little bit behind your team, but that was okay. It wasn't bad. Phara doesn't suffer from fall-off damage, so I don't mind you being a little bit behind your team if you can land your shots. Comms are a bit quiet. Comms, man. Teamwork's a really difficult thing to critique when you're looking at one player. I think he Progressive called out some things. He didn't over call out, that's for sure. But I would rather see under call out than over call out. I think right now there's a big problem where everyone's talking all the time. I think you made... For your fair play, I don't really have many corrections. Your second point was rough with Phara. You dove a bit. You thought you were silent, but you're not. That's how they caught you behind when the first time you try to kill it. The shield gen. The second time you tried to kill the shield gen, you definitely OD'd on it. I think you just wanted to switch to Junkrat, and you're like, listen, guys, I'm going to alt on this thing. Don't worry about it. You could have made a little bit better decision there because Winston was there helping you, which changes the situation drastically. Essentially, there was a bubble, and you had another 500 hit point hero with you. Maybe you could have took down one person, but whatever. You switched to Junkrat right after that. So Junkrat, you switched over, and you did, I think, leagues better on attack. You flanked. That was a good flanking maneuver. You got the teleporter. You ulted. You got two or one person. You got one. You killed the diva that was out of her mech when she ulted, and then I think you killed two more people after that, and then you died to the Symmetra. So you did work as Junkrat, which is good. I mean, it wasn't bad. The problem was maybe you switched a little bit too late. Again, I don't like critiquing what class someone plays. There was a soldier that was... I think, honestly, the soldier was probably one of the higher SR ranked guys in the game, just from his play, and he was definitely shutting your team down, both on offense or attack and defense. And you just happened to be his prime target because you were the high-flying Phara. So the question is, if you still wanted to play Phara, which is how I'm going to take it. I'm not going to tell you to change a class. How to play Phara against a better soldier. I believe Concussive Blast is going to be your friend. There's a couple times I think you could have booped him off, especially when he was on the left side of the map. Stuff like that. Use Concussive Blast, I believe, more for splitting apart the ranks, and less for... You're using it a little bit willy-nilly for mobility, which isn't a bad thing, but... definitely more carefully look at how you use it. Is a little 1 to 2 second gain of speed worth the cooldown, in which case you could have used it to save your life or to split apart ranks, forcing the enemy to die. Most of the time, I think getting the combat, it depends where you use your Concussive Blast. Like right out of spawn, yeah, you got time between the spawn room and combat. You can definitely await the time there. But if you're using it for mobility and not capitalizing on that mobility initially, so you'll see a lot of players use it, they'll Concussive Blast and then use Alt or something. And they use it to get in a position and immediately take an enemy support or something. If you're not immediately using the Concussive Blast speed to your advantage, I would recommend not doing that. Definitely use it for more splitting the team or directly when you push someone off of an edge. As for your Junkrat play, first CP, I don't mind you holding the left side. I think your position was fine. I believe, based on what you were doing and what you saw, I believe your informational layer was correct. I believe your logistics, you were using mine more for mobility rather than direct damage, which is more my style of Junkrat, which I like mobility. But the problem is, if you don't have an accurate shot, you really need that, not for mobility and for damage and getting yourself out of bad situations. I believe you mind jumped. I know you definitely jumped into one bad situation. You were on top of the middle building on CP1, and you fell off. That caused you to die there, and I think there was a second time you mine jumped, and it put you in a really rough predicament. So, if you don't have mechanical skill with the class, or as good as mechanical skill as you need, definitely favor mine for more of action rather than logistics. It's funny because on the second point, you had time to use your mine to get you up to the balcony, or you could have just walked to the balcony, but you stayed on the low ground inside the choke point, and again, I believe that was a failure. It was a bad position, but I believe it was a failure at the logistical level. You had time to get to the correct point before they got in there. Yeah, that was one of the times you actually could have used your mine for mobility. After that, I mean, after you died that first point, I think that's when the mad scramble happened for like a minute. And when a scramble happens, it's just about getting on point. Again, I can't critique a lot of shit there. It just, everyone's rushed. It's the reason why I play Junkrat in Anubis attack. When people turn the corner, they don't have time to engage a Junkrat that's kind of like hiding around the corner and throwing traps and stuff at them. They're too busy. They have to get to the point. I exploit the fact that their logistics is chosen for them. If they come at me, they're wasting their time. So I can't really critique your Junkrat after the mad scramble happened. Your tire was good. Wait, no, your tire was on... Oh, no, your tire was defensive. That's right. It was when you're on defense. Yeah, your tire was good. You got around the corner, you used it. You got a couple kills. But then that soldier got your ass again. That soldier, I think that soldier was good. He was holding their team down. He was doing work. And soldier versus Junkrat's a very bad matchup at mid-range, which he was attacking you in. Right, it's your projectile versus his hit scan. And soldier's hit scan's incredibly strong. He just needs to hit you a couple times and you're toast. So a general theme, what can we look over both the Phara and the Junkrat and pick away? What can we get you to work on? And this is actually a tougher one. Because... Oh shit, almost knocked over my mic. I'm definitely not used to this setup yet. I have so much shit over here now. It's difficult to move my chair. So what can we get you to work on? If I wanted you to go up in ranks, what would I do to help you? It seems like you enjoy playing DPS classes, so we'll definitely keep playing those. Whatever makes you happy, definitely play those classes. Don't play something you'll hate yourself for, because if you don't enjoy the game, you won't get better at it. You won't keep playing. You have this... The only thing that's coming to mind, and I think this happens to a lot of players, and I'm just spitballing here, is you did seem to play slightly defensive at first, especially with the Phara. And as soon as you started running into trouble, I don't want to say you tilted, but it looks like your aggression was a bit unwarranted. Every time the soldier killed you, it was because you were pushed up farther than your team. The first CP as Phara, you were definitely playing with your team, even a little bit behind. And I don't mind that because Phara doesn't have fall off. So that's okay if you can keep landing your shots. It makes your shots a little bit harder to hit, but with the splash damage and they were busy with your team, so they're not actively dodging your shots. It's just you predicting where they're going to go. That was fine. As soon as you got to the second CP, you really started, maybe you're flying a little bit too high, maybe you're going, yeah, you were definitely flying a little bit too high. Remember, Phara, I treat her as a flank from above. Normally we see a map, let me just draw a square, like this is a map. And this is almost like, this is a lot of Overwatch maps in general. They'll have one side, and this will be like an environmental death. So this is like, I don't know, fire.
Aiming's overrated.
And then this will be an enclosed area. So this will be a box, right? There'll be like a room here and a room here, and there's like a doorway and a doorway. And then the points here. This is a lot of Overwatch maps. Like Ilios has this design. Oasis has this design. I think a couple other maps. Yeah, Oasis has this design on two of their ones. They have this, but this is a very common theme. Yeah, Ilios has it on 2 or 3 maps. 1, 2. Yeah, it's very common in King of the Hill for this to happen. Lijiang Station. Yeah, this is just how King of the Hill maps kind of are. This is how they kind of include viability for all classes, right? For Winston ult, for Lucio's and Phara's. Like, they really like the environmental kills. So the problem is that we always see flankers as someone that comes down here. Right? We're like, oh, flankers, you're on the ground. Flankers come this way. They go around this edge, and they flank like that. The way I see Phara is she's like a vertical flanker. Right? She's out of vision, which is what a flanker is. She's out of vision, but she's above you. So she's more like, if we're looking at stuff like, you know, here's a person. She flanks from above. I almost consider it, you know, its own special type. And at low SR games, you will definitely notice this where no one looks up. And this really is like, she's invisible up here. No one knows. But the problem is once people start knowing, and the higher you are, the more visible you are. And since you're, quote-unquote, flanking from above, if you're more visible, you're just going to take more damage. Phara has an easier ability to hit because of the splash damage, right? She shoots at the feet. The higher you are, the better angle you can get, but also the more people that can shoot at you. So be careful about flying as high as you want all the time. Right? Isn't that the story with Icarus? Fly too high, close to the sun, your wings melt. Shit like that. So watch your height on Phara. But you were definitely flying in super high, and then like you were pushing way past your team. Your team was over here, and you were definitely sticking out not only above everyone, but you were in front of everyone too, which made you a very, very easy target. And I think you were getting a little bit upset at the soldier. I believe that was the cause of your main aggression. So keep a cool head. I think mindset was one of the things that definitely came into the play this game. And you can correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, I'm more than happy to be wrong. But yeah, your mindset, I believe, was a little bit off. And that took your positioning from here to just maybe like 5-10 meters ahead. But your team, you know, you're so far ahead of your team. When you're playing a vulnerable character, you need to note where your team is at more than anything else. It's good to know where the enemy team is at, but knowing how close your backup is. And if you don't have a Mercy as a Phara, and if you can't count on your heals, right, there's no health packs in the air. You have to get to the ground and you have to find a health pack. So you're vulnerable the entire time. Be very wary of that. I think this passivity until you're over aggressive. I actually can't even comment on defense. Your defense happened so quick, and then they got on the second CP. I believe you had 1 life on the first CP. You had 1 life on the second CP, and then the scramble happened. I can't critique the defense at all. Actually, there's not enough information for me to give you a proper response. Yeah. I think that's all I can say about that. Your information seemed fine. Positioning was over-aggressive. Logistics-wise, you were trying to get to places quicker, which is cool, both with concussive mine and concussive blast. The problem is you use these resources up early and you didn't have them for combat. Yeah. So that, you know, we'll give you a check minus here. Because your logistics was wrong, I believe your positioning was a little bit poor. Or you were maybe in the correct position, but you didn't have the tools needed. So that position was a little bit weaker than you originally thought. You're like, oh, if I have all my tools at this point, then I'm really strong in this position. Right? If someone comes up to me when I'm on the house, I can either knock them off or I can hit someone low that I've already hit once. I should be pretty good here. But you didn't have those resources available to you. And your action, again, I don't correct action, really. I think your skill was fine. I mean, you did work on Junkrat. You landed your shots as Phara. I think you were fine there. You were fine here. Progressive, that's about it. That's all I can do for you there. I don't want to critique a bunch of micro actions. But be very careful with your mindset. Watch where your team's at. You got ahead of them. Even if it's just by 10 meters, that can still get you killed. And watch your resource usage.